Hi everybody, it's Mara and welcome to Sharing Wellness Promoting Health Wednesday, and tonight we're going to talk a little bit about healthy skin and psoriasis. Remember, the information I'm sharing with you is for educational purposes only. I'm not trying to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. So let's talk a little bit about our skin. It's actually the largest organ in the human body, and it has very important functions. It helps regulate our body temperature, it protects our body from toxins and infections, it helps our body eliminate toxins, and it's also our appearance and how we look to other people. It also interacts with many systems in the body, like the thyroid helps to keep our skin soft and moist. So if you have low thyroid, you may have dry skin or some hair loss. The liver is what can create oily skin, dry skin, rashes, eruptive skin problems. The intestinal tract, the health of the digestive membranes is directly linked to the skin. It's also linked to food allergies, leaky gut, and intestinal inflammation can also cause skin problems. And then we have our kidneys. And I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but I've heard this a lot, that the skin's the third kidney. So if you have poor kidney function, it can stress the skin, and your skin can stress the kidney. The pineal gland regulates the pigment in our skin and helps us with overall skin health. And circulation and lymphatics, poor circulation or poor lymph drainage can also cause skin problems. No one system in the body works independently. They all work together and they're all interrelated. So what is psoriasis? It's actually an autoimmune condition that speeds up the growth of your skin, and it usually is chronic in many people. About 125 million people worldwide, or 2 to 3% of the population, deal with psoriasis. You'll notice a lot of people have patches of thick red skin covered with silvery scales, also known as plaques. And these scales or plaques are usually itchy, sore, red, and inflamed. And sometimes you'll notice they may crack and even bleed. A lot of the times they develop on the joints, elbows, and knees, but they can develop anywhere on your body. They're also commonly associated with other conditions like type 2 diabetes, inflammatory bowel disease, heart disease, obesity, anxiety, and depression. Their symptoms are pretty basic. You're going to notice red, raised, inflamed patches of skin. Maybe some whitish silvery scales or plaques on top of these red patches. You may just have dry skin that cracks or bleeds. You may have soreness around these patches or scales. You may have itching and burning sensations around the patches. Sometimes people notice their nails are very thick and pitted. Some people have painful swollen joints, and these symptoms depend on sometimes the type of psoriasis you have. And not all people have all of these symptoms. They vary among individuals. And the symptoms of psoriasis tend to go in waves. So sometimes your psoriasis can be acting up and be very severe, and other times it can look like it's almost clearing up or went into remission, and then the symptoms can come back. And that's what they call a psoriasis flare-up. So the most common psoriasis is plaque psoriasis. It's estimated 80% of the people with psoriasis have this type of psoriasis, and that's a psoriasis with red inflamed patches that cover areas of the skin. And these patches are also covered with whitish silver scales or plaques. There's guttate psoriasis, which is normally found in young children and young adults, and that's usually those small pink spots, and they say those are usually caused by a bacterial infection like strep throat. There's pustular psoriasis, which is more common in adults, and that's white pus-filled lesions occurring in widespread patches on the body or on your hands and feet. Inverse psoriasis is bright areas of red, shiny, inflamed skin, and that's usually found in the armpits, under the breasts, in the groin, or around skin folds, because it's usually triggered by fungal infections. Then there's psoriatic arthritis, which usually has swollen, painful joints. It has that name because swollen, painful joints are typical of arthritis. And joint symptoms with this type of arthritis are usually the first and only symptom, and they also range from mild to severe, and they can actually cause damage to your joint. So what causes psoriasis? Well, they're not 100% sure. It's mostly linked to your immune system, genetics, and environmental factors. So psoriasis is an autoimmune condition, which means that the body is attacking itself. In the case of psoriasis, skin cells are rapidly producing and are pushed up to the top of the skin surface, and they pile up, which results in scales and plaques, and your body mistakenly attacks these scales and these patches. So when I think of the immune system and being in natural health, I can't help but mention how important the gut is in our immune system, since 70 to 80% of our immune system comes from our gut. So if you're suffering psoriasis, you may want to focus on gut health, cleansing and healing your GI tract. Many people with autoimmune conditions have eliminated foods that are known to cause a lot of allergies or problems, like dairy, eggs, corn, wheat, soy, peanuts, nightshades, chocolate, and refined sugar, as well as heavily processed foods full of chemicals. When we look at genetics and psoriasis, it tends to run in families. So if someone in your family's had it, you are more likely to get it. However, the percentage is very small for predisposition on genetics. Only 2 to 3% of the people with the gene develop the condition, according to the National Psoriasis Foundation. And there's the environmental factor, because our skin, through its glands, acts as an organ of elimination, but it also acts as a great avenue for taking things in or assimilation. So if you think about how many medications are now given in patches through the skin to go right into the blood, so if you don't want something in your body, you certainly shouldn't be putting it on your body. So I talked about psoriasis with various ranges, from severe to mild symptoms. So there's things that can trigger a flare and make it worse, and stress is one of them. So it's really important that you focus on recognizing and managing your stress, prioritizing what's important to you, creating goals, and recognizing the signs that you tend to exhibit during stress can help you. Also, people that have heavy alcohol use, that can trigger a flare-up. And if you feel you have an alcohol problem, you may want to speak to someone for help. Also, there's injuries like an accident, a cut, or a scrape. Sometimes if people get a shot or they get a sunburn, that'll trigger a flare. There's certain medications that can trigger it. There's certain infections. So since your condition is autoimmune, which sure is your immune system attacking healthy skin cells, when you get sick, your immune system can become overworked, fighting your sickness, which can cause a flare-up. Some people get flare-ups when the weather's really cold and dry, or many if they're dealing with other common problems like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, inflammatory bowel diseases, or dealing with obesity. So there's a lot of treatment options for it, and again, there's no cure, and since the condition's chronic, they focus on reducing symptoms and slowing the skin cell growth. So there's topical treatments like creams and ointments, coal tar, vitamin D, corticosteroids, retinoids, moisturizers. There's systemic medications. Those with moderate or severe psoriasis may need more relief, like retinoids, methotrexate, cyclosporine, biologics. Some of these systemic medications do have side effects. There's other treatment options like light therapy, sunlight, small amounts daily for safety. Is very good for psoriasis and treating the symptoms. Artificial UVB light or artificial UVA light, cold laser, and far infrared like our Soki Ferdome. Many of these light therapy products are available for use in the comfort of your own home. And it's really important to know that it's a combination of treatments that have been found to be the most benefit, and that's living healthy lifestyle along with creams and ointments, maybe systemic medication, light therapy. So in natural health, we say that the skin reflects the general health of the body, and our skin problems aren't just skin deep, they're really the whole picture. So we always want to look at the big picture of health when we're thinking about helping any type of skin disorder. Because as I just shared with you, psoriasis can be kind of complicated. It's associated with other conditions. We've got a little bit of autoimmune in it. We've got symptoms and a lot of triggers. So natural things you can do to help yourself. You can focus on gut health and digestive health. And it's really important to remember that our gut likes to eat plants, fiber, and fermented foods because those feed the good microbiome in our digestive tract. And it's the microbiome in our digestive tract that has the most influence on our overall health. Plus, when you add fiber, it's going to keep things moving as they should. So if you're constipated or have diarrhea or gut problems, you may want to start focusing on eating more plants, fiber, and fermented foods. You also may want to focus on liver health. You may want to try adding a detox tea to your day. Many companies have a detox tea to help your liver out, keeping it strong and keeping it clean. And look for a tea that has some burdock root and dandelion in it because those are really great for the liver. A lot of times, since allergies can play in psoriasis and contribute to skin issues, so you want to make sure that you aren't suffering with allergies. If you are, there's some herbs like quercetin, bromelain, stinging nettle that are very helpful in helping your body with allergies. Also, if you're dealing with metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, or obesity, since these may contribute to inflammation in the body, you may want to focus on achieving or maintaining a healthy weight and eating healthier. It's been found that diets like the Mediterranean diet, which focuses on fruits, vegetables, lean protein, whole grains, and healthy fats, is very beneficial for metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes. So we want to avoid, again, those processed foods. For some people, spicy foods can bother them. Sugar, soda, alcohol, and too much caffeine. The other thing you can do is focus on managing your stress and supporting your adrenal glands, which tie into the stress response of the body. Ashwagandha works really well at helping the body handle that stress response. Also, B-complex vitamins. You can also practice deep breathing or a form of meditation. You can diffuse some essential oils, make a mister or sniff them on a tissue. Oils like lavender, bergamot, vetiver, frankincense are very calming. And they also make Bach flowers like Rescue Remedy or Distress Remedy to help with stress. If you're not exercising, consider adding a walk to your day because exercise keeps you more flexible, keeps your circulation and lymphatics moving, and it also helps with stress because exercise produces those feel-good endorphins and also makes it easier for you to maintain a healthy weight because it promotes your metabolism and it stays active much longer than when you're exercising. Water's huge because water transports everything through the body, and we need to stay hydrated because it helps moisturize the skin, it helps with hydration, so it's really important to drink water. And you know, if you can't exercise, take a look at the Chi Machine because the Chi Machine really promotes circulation and lymphatic movement. So making some of these healthy lifestyle changes in combination with what you're doing from the doctor, your creams, your ointments, maybe some light therapy, watching your triggers and your flare can really help you as you move on. You also want to pay a little bit more attention to the soaps you're using to make sure they're not over drying your skin. You may want to take a look at your personal care products to see how many toxins are in them that you're putting on your skin. And if you benefit from a warm bath may help you, and you may want to try adding some things to it like some clays or some essential oils. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this informative, and we'll see you next week where I'm going to share my favorite products, some of my favorite supplements and companies with you. So thanks for watching.